Hello again, everybody. I'm Snapper Lancaster, welcoming you to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. Well, fall sports are high in gear, and we've got a lot of teams here in the Birmingham, Jefferson County area doing well in both football and volleyball. So the boys and girls in those two sports are really doing well. You've got cross country and the track. That's the season for them here in the fall. But we talk about the success that the teams here in the Birmingham, Jefferson County area have. Let me give you an idea. Like in football, in Class 7A, ranked number 2 in the state is Hoover, number 3 is Thompson, number 4 is Hewitt-Trussville, and number 6 is Spain Park. That's 4 teams out of the top 10 from right here in the Birmingham area. Class 6A, Pinson Valley is number 2 in the state, Ramsey is number 4, Homewood number 10. And in Class 5A, the Briarwood Christian Lions are number 1 in Class 5A, and number 8 is Winona. So that's a lot of football teams, high schools represented with outstanding coaches and players from here in the Birmingham area. The ladies sports, volleyball in Class 7A, listen to this, folks. In Class 7A, number 2, Oak Mountain, number 5, Spain Park, number 6, Mountain Brook, number 7, Hoover, number 9, Thompson, number 10, Vestavia. If that's not domination in a class, then I don't know what is. And finally, in Class 6A, you've got Pelham, and you've got Helena, number 6. Pelham was number 4, Ramsey, number 9, and Chelsea, number 10. Once again, that just gives you the idea of the coaches, outstanding athletes here in the Jefferson County area. 2 outstanding coaches with some outstanding athletes are going to be on our program tonight. We look forward to visiting with them. We'll take a quick break. We come back, our first guest of the evening. Let's go away.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their number 1 objective.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling 1-pound deli pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well. And folks, welcome back, and as you can tell, we're into our first segment, and the first guest we got tonight is Coach Rainey from Spain Park. And Sean, first of all, good to see you again.
Yes, sir.
Secondly, tell me a little bit about your team, the make of it, above it this year, offense, defense, special teams.
We're finished our first half of the season. Basically, we played our first 5 games, and we're in a bye week this week. So started out 3-0, and we've had 2 tough losses here to Hoover and Mountain Brook. We lost in double overtime Friday night. So Region 3, it's every week, and every week you can either win or lose, and we were in some real tight games. And the last two, we just come up a little bit short. But.
Well, now I want you to know I'm one of these prognosticators because I did the play-by-play for Vestavia all those years, so I would keep up with what exactly everybody was doing in our region. And I know that the Hoover loss was a tough loss, but the one against Mountain Brook was almost like, it's a heartbreaking thing because it could have gone either way.
It is.
And the only thing, Coach, and I'm not telling you something you don't already know, it makes that playoff road a little bit harder because, like you said, I think in region Class 7A, you guys have a playoff team. And of course, the key is the more games you win, the better seeding you have. But I'm like you. I think you have the makeup of a team good enough, even though you would love to not lost two of those in a row, and one of them could have gone either way. You're still right in the thick of things.
Yep. And there's about 5 or 6 teams in our region that feel that same way.
Yeah,
so
and
we've got to win some games here. We've got the next 4 region games coming up, and then we play minor the last week.
Right.
And all 4 of those will be just like the ones we played. So we're planning on having a good week of practice this week, kind of get our legs under us, and then tackle the next 5 opponents.
I want to ask you one question about, and you mentioned it just a moment ago, you got a bye week. Do you like that idea of a team? Now, you get the bye week if you don't play a jamboree game.
Yes, sir.
And so then you got really 11 dates to play 10 games. So do you sort of get to pick your bye week, or is that
just
done
kind of
for
how
you?
the scheduling falls? When that was offered, I think it was 4 years ago, we're kind of the smaller 7A school, and we've had some issues with depth over the years. So I was thinking, rather than playing 11 games and possibly losing some kids to injury, cut the schedule down to 10, have a week right in the middle where if we've lost a kid to an ankle sprain or something, we can get them back for the final
Right.
push. So that's kind of the decision that we initially thought of when we made the schedule, taking a bye week. And I think it's really good because when you play 10 straight weeks, or 2 years ago we played 14, would have been straight weeks, and it's a grind on coaches and kids. And we practice 3 days this week, and we'll give them some days off. I have the seniors come down to my house, and I take a day out of school and cook for them, and I smoke briskets and ribs, and just kind of a bonding deal that we can, because these guys have been in our program for 3 years, and the most important part of the program is sending these kids off to the world, and to get them in your home around my wife and our other coaches. We enjoy that, and we're looking forward to that. And kind of mid-season, not worried about winning a game. So.
Yeah, I've been doing this show 18 years now, and the one thing I enjoy doing that the show brings joy for me is recognizing you coaches for the job that you do, not only on the field with your young athletes, but you prepare these young student athletes for life after high school. And to me, that's just as important, if not more important, than the first. And so, believe me, I know, and you've been in the coaching business long enough to know that there are many hats under a head coach's umbrella,
Yes, sir. These kids these days are facing so many challenges that we didn't have to go through. So it's important, and to see them, starting our program as freshmen and how they develop and grow into young men, and then have them come back to our games and stand on our sideline. That's why most of us got into coaching, and we've been talking about Region 3. There's some great men in this region with Coach Anderson and Coach Niblett and Coach Yeager, and the list goes on. And with Coach Niblett, I worked for him for 3 years, and he was a huge influence in my life. So to coach against him, it's a great honor, and to have our kids come back to see our program, it's a lot of fun.
Well, one thing that leads me into another question that I enjoy asking head coaches, and that is to talk about the continuity of your assistant coaching staff. That's so important to a head coach, and you've been that assistant coach down the road, and you understand what an assistant means to the head coach, especially when you've got coaches, one, that you pick, and two, they come and you build that staff and they're with you year after year. That continuity factor is a very positive thing.
It's unbelievable. It's just like you've got to be a team. You've got to put egos aside, and We have coaches specifically in the equipment room or whatever that they're asked to do, and we've got an outstanding group of assistants. Marty Rozell's offensive coordinator has been in this league. Coach Matt Thompson's our defense coordinator, and Coach Maynor has been a head coach in this region. He does our special teams, and I had 2 assistants that played for me when I coached at UAB, and in our region, a lot of coaches move on to be head coaches, and last year we was able to keep every assistant off the staff, so the continuity has been great this year. And I think kids see that. They see if you get along with your assistants and how your assistants intermingle with each other, so it's very important.
Well, I got a feeling listening to you talk about your staff, it wouldn't surprise you at all if some high schools come calling or wanting the opportunity to talk to some of your assistants, and of course then they have the opportunity of sometimes saying yes or no. I'm perfectly content right where I am.
Yep.
That's probably sweet music to your ear when that happens.
Yes.
But you were an assistant once, so you understand that's part of the game as well.
Yep.
But don't underestimate from a head coaching position that the assistants are a vital part of that, isn't it? Coaches, we wind this down. Of course, this has been, how many years you've been there now?
This is my 5th season.
Yeah, already. And so how about the relationship with you and the powers that be there at Spain Park and the neighborhood and the way they have latched on to you and your football program?
Parents of our kids are unbelievable. The money that they raise to, I tell our kids all the time, I think they're spoiled. We get on charter buses and eat the best food, and that's all through the hard work of their parents and people in our community and our boosters. So Mr. Giangrosso, our principal, he's a former coach, which is huge. He understands the stresses of being a teacher and a coach for our assistants, and it's just a great school full of great kids. And you hear all the stuff about where our country is with our kids nowadays, and you spend an hour with some of the 100 that we spend with every day. It's unbelievable, and it's just a blessing every day to go to that school and to work there.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, it's always good to get to sit down and visit with you again. You got a playoff team on your hands, and you got work to do the second half, and you know that, but I think every coach looks for his team to peak as the season progresses, so the best of luck to you and your players, and I fully expect Spain Park to be one of those playoff teams.
Thank you.
But good luck, and maybe a championship does wait down at the end of the rainbow.
So, yes, sir. I think we got a chance.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We come back, we're going to visit with 3 gentlemen very instrumental in the success Spain Park has had thus far this year. We'll be right back. The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors. A company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their number one objective.
At Andrews Sports Medicine, we partner with our patients, trying to help them overcome the obstacles that keep them from achieving their goals.
This practice aggressively pursues victory over injury, over pain, over limitation, over anything that's going to keep you from being the best you can be.
It starts with our non-surgical physicians who are trained in sports medicine, orthopedic injuries. We have specialists in sports medicine, shoulders, elbows, and knees. We have hip specialists that do only hip surgery, including arthroscopy, minimally invasive resurfacing, and total hip replacement if needed. We have joint replacement surgeons. We have spine surgeons. We have surgeons that specialize in foot and ankle surgery and in hand surgery. So just about all the specialties of orthopedics are covered at Andrews Sports Medicine.
What makes the great surgeons great is their volume of experience at making decisions, whether that's intraoperative decisions, post-operative decisions, pre-operative decisions, the decision to operate on somebody or not operate on them. And so our volume here breeds good decision making. That gives us an edge in terms of making decisions for our patients, which ultimately is a lot of times the difference between success and failure. The teams, the players, the parents, have confidence in us because they know we're going to communicate with them. We're going to create a plan unique to that athlete or that person, and we're going to get them back to their thing and as quickly and as safely as we can.
At Injury Sports Medicine, our mission is to partner with our patients and to help them succeed and achieve victory. Whether you're a weekend warrior, a grandparent with a shoulder problem, or a professional athlete, you get the same care, the same high-level technology, the same aggressiveness that we would in a professional athlete, and we treat everyone the same way. None of us like to lose. We're all very competitive, and we're not going to lose against their illness or their injury.
Have you had that Mexican food fix yet? If you haven't, then Speedy's is the place to go. Located in Hueytown, 1 block off Warrior River Road on Forest Road, you can call in your order or go through the drive-thru or dine in as our family and friends do on a regular basis. For everything from nachos to enchiladas to taco salads, you can't beat the taste of Speedy's Mexican food. Remember, that's the original Speedy's is back and better than ever. To phone in the order or for more information, the number to call is 744-4659. That's Speedy's Mexican Foods.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And folks, welcome back. And as you can tell, I got 3 outstanding young athletes from the Spain Park Jags. Sitting closest to me, Braxton Barker, senior quarterback. Diari
Yes, sir.
Johnson, a senior running back. And finally, Robert Cook, a senior defensive end. Okay, as we get into the conversation, Braxton, first of all, your last name is significant. Most people who know anything about Spain Park realize, yes, Jay Barker's your dad. So you got a pretty good quarterback coach, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Going into this year, being a senior, what were your expectations, not only for yourself, but for your team this year?
I knew we had a pretty good team coming into the season. We worked really hard in the summer and really hard in the spring and in fall camp. So coming in, I knew we were going to be pretty good, and we started off pretty good. We started off 3-0, and then the last 2 weeks we've had 2 pretty tough games, but we're going to use this bye week to get back on track.
Right. Now, Diari, the game y'all played was a 2 or 3 overtimes, wasn't it? And they lost by 51-50 to Mountain Brook. What's it like to compete in a game like that when you can easily win one, but you can lose it just as easily too? But what a game it must have been.
It's a very exciting game, but it's a game that we should have won, but we just ain't played as hard as we should have played. And we just got to worry about the next game and play as hard as we know we can.
Well, sometimes, some of the best lessons we learn in life are from losing. I tell players and coaches all the time, it's easy to be a winner. But sometimes after a tough loss, you have to pick up the bootstraps, as the old saying goes, and you'll be better for it because you got to work harder. Like you say, you think one got away maybe,
yes,
but you'll learn from that. Robert, how about you? When you look at your schedule each year, who are the teams that you look at and say, golly, that's the game I'm looking forward to the most?
Thompson definitely, because they're undefeated, and it's something gonna be a big matchup. It's gonna be a big game considering it'll according to seeding in the playoffs, and if we make playoffs, and it's just all the games we got to win, but that one's I'm really looking forward to.
Really? So you're looking forward to Thompson. Braxton, one thing I've always liked about athletes is they are superstitious. We're a superstitious bunch. Do you have any kind of superstition or ritual or something that you do on a regular basis that would be what we'd classify as a superstition?
Yeah, I don't really have one specific thing, more just I try to keep my what I do every game day the same, the way I walk the field and what I eat in the morning and just different stuff like that. I try to do the exact same thing every Friday.
Really? And if you feel like you don't do it that way, that you're a little off track, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Diari, how about you?
I don't eat pre-game meals.
Really?
It's just a superstition I have. I don't know. If I end up eating, I feel like I don't play as good as I usually do.
Oh, really? Okay. Robert, how about you?
I just mix it up every time. I'm like the least superstitious person in the room.
Oh, you just,
I know Braxton, he has to have the same person do his pads and same everything, but I just, whatever, however the day's going.
well, now look, guys, two things happen during football season for every athlete. One is you having to take care of class. You have to take care of the academics because, as the old saying goes, if you don't qualify off the field, you don't make it on the field. So with that thought in mind, you're working hard, practicing all this, and we'll start with you, Braxton. What do you do to sort of relax a little bit, to get away from that grind of studying and practicing and playing for quiet time to gather your thoughts? Is there any way that you do that in particular?
I don't know. Probably just watch Netflix or something. That's probably what I usually do.
Yeah, but it's definitely something different from studying
Yes, sir.
and playing. Yeah,
Yes,
you
sir.
got to get away a little bit. Diari, how about you?
I might either go play basketball or just go to sleep or play the game, like play 2K.
Yeah, I mean just anything that puts your mind somewhere else, because that's two situations you really have to take care of, are the academics and the athletic side of it. Robert, how about you?
I like to play golf, so whenever I have free time, I just go to the range and just
Really?
hit some balls around, just gets my mind off things.
Do you hit it far or do you hit it straight?
I hit it far and straight.
Oh, really? Golly, that's what you want to do when you're golfing, is do that. All right, guys, as you head into the second half of the season and you realize you got a couple of losses in your region, that puts how much undue pressure, if any, Braxton, does that put on you as a leader of the team?
It does put a lot, just not on me, but just the team in general, just because we know going to these last 5 games and these 4 region games that we need to go in there and win every single one. We could drop one and still get in, but we want to go in knowing or thinking that we have to win them all to get into the playoffs.
How about you, Diari?
I think I put a lot on myself because I believe, like, as a leader on the team, I should, like, play my best and not let my teammates down. So I'm just hoping that we can win out the rest
Well,
of the games.
you know, Braxton was right, and you're right too. In a sense, when you look at it like that, you may have room to maybe stumble one more time and still not hurt yourself as far as a playoff spot. But the thing about it is, you've got the right idea. You want to win all of those games, then that takes any of the doubt out of it. Robert, how about you? Does mindset change a little?
Yeah, mindset definitely changes, but we still know that, like, we can, you know, it's not like we have to be perfect from here on out, but you'd love to be perfect because you seed yourself better, you get a better chance at playing a worse team in the playoffs and just have an easier, playoff team to play.
Right.
So.
Well, and guys, all of y'all being seniors, do any of you have scholarship offers yet?
No, sir.
Okay, now,
Yes, sir.
when you go off to school, and chances are maybe all 3 of you, as you head off to school, once again, you're going to be dealing with athletics and also the book side of it, the educational side of it. Down the road, and I know, Braxton, you may have to think about it in a little bit, and you may not, but if football at a higher level is not in your future down the road 4 or 5 years, do you have anything that you think you might like to do one day for an occupation?
I'm not really sure yet. I've always thought about maybe going into law school,
Right.
but I'm still not really sure. I'm just gonna go through my senior year and then figure out once I get there.
Okay, Diari, how about you?
I'm not really sure yet. I'm just going to, I'm hoping to get some scholarships by, the end of the season and, look into the schools that, offered me and then see. But I'm want to major in, business.
Oh, okay, okay. How about you, Robert?
I'm pretty set on engineering in college.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Do you know where you might want to go if you don't get a
Auburn.
scholarship off?
Yes,
Where?
sir. Auburn.
Well, I'll pray for you. No, I don't mean that way. Great school, and I know they got a great engineering school. Well, guys, the season's halfway over. You're 3-2. You're on the plus side, but you got work to do, and I'm sure you're going to get it done. But to this point in your life, one question I always enjoy asking young athletes: who's been the most inspirational person or persons? And we'll start with you, Braxton.
Probably just God and my relationship with God and Jesus. Just going to him whenever times get harder or anything like that. That's probably the most influential thing in my life.
Well, good for you. How about you, Ariel?
My mom, like, she inspiration me because she really wanted me to make it, and like she got me like out of a bad like school and like bad position to like come over here to Spain Park, come in a good area, and I know she wanted me to make it to like the NFL. So
Well, the one thing about it, Ari, moms and dads, they're always in your corner, and moms in particular. So
Yes, sir.
I can appreciate that. Robert, how about you?
Probably my position coach, Coach Hamlin, because he's really made me enjoy the game of football more and really just made me, love football. And he's always been there. He's a hilarious dude. I can always go to him for anything. And he's just someone I feel is really close to my life.
Well, I tell you what, guys, you're a great bunch of players, good guys, and I hope good things lie ahead of you this football season. But good luck to you as you head on into your career after high school, okay?
Thank you.
And folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, another coach, more players. Don't you go away. We'll be right back. The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their number one objective.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gurdeau in Trussville today.
Land of Frost Premium is America's best-selling 1-pound deli pouch, now available in 12 delicious flavors, including new flavors of mesquite turkey and cotto salami. High school athletes across the country ask for Land of Frost by name. These great items are available at your local grocer, including Piggly Wiggly, Food Giant, Western supermarkets, and many more. Land of Frost also makes other varieties of lunch meats, including deli shaved bistro and sub sandwich kits. Land of Frost is a proud sponsor of youth sports as well. And folks, welcome back. As you can tell, we've got another head coach up here, and it's one that's special in my life because I've been involved with Coach Yancey for many years. Fred Yancey, of course, the Briarwood Christian Lions coach. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
And lo and behold, this time you come in with a 5-0 record, undefeated. I don't think I've ever had you when your team was undefeated. If we did, I don't remember.
Well, we're 4-0, not 5-0.
Four, okay.
We're 4-0 right now. Yeah, it's a
so you've had a bye, or
no? We didn't start. We played Vestavia in a jamboree.
Oh, that's in a jamboree game. Yeah. So, well, going into this year, were you prepared for the team to get off to as good a start as you had?
Yeah, I think so. I had a lot of confidence that this would be a good team, and we had a terrific team last year, and a lot of terrific boys coming back. And they worked hard all summer. I would have been disappointed if we weren't off to a good start.
And talking about that, Coach, tell us a little bit about the three aspects of your team, which of course are offense, specialty teams, and defense.
Well, defensively, we've been really strong. We're giving up a little less than 7 points a game in the first 4 games, and have some boys that have played a lot of football. They're really good. And then we have some guys like Joseph Munganast, who'll be here tonight, this is their first year to start, but they're doing a great job. So we're just real pleased with the way the defense carrying the load early on. And then offensively, we've had to break in a brand new quarterback. He's a senior. His name is Michael Ayers. But in 4 games, he's completing it percentage of 74% completions. I've never had a quarterback that hot for that many games. And we're scoring pretty close to 30 a game now. So
Wow.
he's having a big year. We have a running back, J.R. Tranrino, who was quite a terrific player last year as a sophomore, who's picking up from there. Garrett Bell, our young man who'll be here tonight. Garrett is also one of these guys that's returning starter, good player. So offensively and defensively, we've been pretty solid these first 4 games. And kicking wise, we've had to hunt and peck to find guys that could really do it. And I think we finally found some boys that are pretty good at it.
Well, listen, one thing I wanted to mention, and I'm sorry that I didn't do it right off the bat, because this is one of the most important things to me. Coach Yancey this Friday night got his 300th win as a high school coach. And I think all but about, 39 or 41 have come here in Alabama. I think I read where the others are in Georgia.
Georgia and Tennessee.
Yeah, wow. And so, but 300, Coach, that's a milestone that any coach could be proud of and tickled to death for you. Couldn't happen to a nicer, not only person, but you're a great coach as well.
I appreciate it. That's always a great tribute to the coaches that you work with and the players that you coach.
Well, no, one thing, and you segued me into this next question, talking about your assistant coaches, very important part of a head coach's overall program. And talk about your assistants and how valuable they are and the continuity that you have with coaches that stay with you year after year and what that means to you.
Well, when I think about staying with me, Shane Harmon, my defensive line coach, has been with me 16 years. Matthew Forrester, our defensive coordinator, played for me, played out at Samford. Then he's been teaching, and he's been with me now, a good 10 years or so. And Bobby Curley is a former Briarwood player, basketball player who is a terrific football and basketball coach. But he's been around a long time with us. Ernest Carroll's been with me since '04. He's an offensive line coach. We really do have a number of coaches who have been with me a number of years, and of course it pays off to have the continuity and we all think a lot alike.
Well, the coach, just looking at this team in particular, I think you said you're averaging around 30 a game.
Pretty close to it, yeah.
Giving up, what, 10?
Less, well, 6 something.
Well, good Lord. I mean, the score's there. If the team continues to play at that level, your team's going to be hard to beat. I mean, if you can score and stop other people from scoring, you're ahead of most other teams, if you know what I'm saying.
Right. Well, our deal is to really become a good team. Now, right now, we're just pretty good. And at this point in the season, I don't know of anybody that's really good. But excuse me, the great teams just get better as the season goes on. And they go through some adversity, and they learn how to pick it up and overcome. And I've seen our boys just get better week by week. And we have not arrived, but I do think the potential is there to be a real factor in the playoffs.
Well, you coaches in football are like all other coaches. I think this is the key to it, is you hope that your team builds its momentum and peaks toward the end of the season, where that's when the best football is played. And of course, that's the playoff time.
Yeah.
And so two main things are the cause of that. One, if you're fortunate enough to be near injury-free as you possibly can, and there's bumps and bruises and all kind of minor injuries, but if you can avoid those major ones where you lose significant players on your team, and the teams keep playing up their potential, then that's what you hope they do. They culminate being the best they can be, whatever that is.
That's right.
Do you see any other teams that pose a significant threat to your team, especially region-wise this year?
Everyone that we play.
You'd make a good politician, you know that.
But everyone we play, we will understand that they pose a significant threat, and our task is to get better than we were.
Yeah, well, Coach, one of the questions I like to ask, and we'll end the interview on this, talk about the recognition you get from your staff and the higher-ups in the school, and also how much the fan base has meant to you and your program there through the years.
Yeah, well, Briarwood's a great community. The people there love the school. They have their, it's a private school, and these people care an awful lot about Christian education, first of all, and that matters to our fan base, to our students, to our parents. Christian education, quality, excellence, and then, of course, being able to be part of the athletic program is a big deal. And I'm blessed that the guys that play for us have a real sense of concern and care to be a part of something special. And that's every year we have guys that are fun to work with because they dig pretty deep in those areas of wanting that particular year, and in this case, this particular year, to be very special.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, it's always good to see you, and every coach enjoys being as successful as they can possibly be, winning loss-wise, because that's why we play the game.
Yeah.
If it didn't matter, we wouldn't keep score.
That's right.
So from that standpoint, you've got a great season going. Good luck to you the rest of the way. Look forward to seeing you and your team doing a lot of damage in the playoffs this year.
Thank you, Snapper. We appreciate it.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to visit with two young men very instrumental in the success they've had thus far. Don't you go away. We'll be right back.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their number one objective. Okay, folks, welcome back. As you can tell, I got two outstanding young men that are playing on an undefeated Briarwood team, so they got to be playing at a high level. We're going to visit with them and talk with them a little bit. Closest to me, and both these guys are seniors, Garrett Bell, an offensive tackle, and then Joseph Munganest, senior, defensive end. Now, I'm finding out from the coach, both sides of the ball are pretty doggone good. The offense, you guys are putting up points. The defense, you guys are keeping people from putting up points.
Yes, sir.
Now, having said that, Garrett, not many times will coach bring players that don't play what we call the highlight positions, quarterback, running back, receivers, this kind of thing. But having said that, nobody knows any better than you, Garrett, that if it wasn't for the job that you and your offensive buddies, line buddies do, y'all's running backs and quarterback wouldn't have much success, would they?
Yes, sir.
And so what does that mean? Talk about you and your teammates there on the offensive line, because you've got to be pretty good, and talk about the pride of being good players, how much that means to you and your offensive line teammates there, and the success that your offense have had this year.
Well, yes, sir. Yeah. Our offensive line, I'm the only returning starter.
Really? Okay.
One of 2 seniors. The other senior is William Heideprem. He's now our right guard. He's really stepped up to the challenge, played great. Our center currently is we call him Berg. His name's Landon Berg. He's doing great. Our right tackle is a sophomore, Trent Howard, playing unbelievable ball for a sophomore. Then our left guard is J.A. Perry, and no one's going to hit lower or harder than him.
Well, you know, it's interesting that you recognize all those guys, and it sounds like that each one of you have it in your makeup that you want to be the best that you can be.
Yes,
and as long as y'all are doing y'all's jobs, it makes it awful easy for those guys behind you to do theirs. And trust me, I got a feeling they let you know that every once in a while. Now, Joseph, we get to the defensive side of the football, y'all are a stingy bunch.
Yes,
now,
sir.
that are being a senior, are there many more seniors, or are you made up of sophomores and juniors as well?
Yes, sir. We got a lot of seniors on the defense right now. Defensive line, we've got three seniors. Only one real returning starter, though. Our Patrick Blythe is on the inside, and he broke his leg in, I believe, the second game last year and got knocked out, but he was a starter before then. And then linebackers, we got Gabe Russell, who's a senior, who's been great. He's a returning starter. And he's the only, and Brandon Kassouf is also a senior linebacker. And then DBs, we got 3 senior DBs that have been really good. Carson Donnelly, Andrew Sheridan, Jonathan Hill. Like you said, we're a stingy bunch. We don't like to give up points.
Well, you know, let me tell you something about that. And you guys seem to understand it totally. If the other team doesn't score much, y'all got a pretty good chance of winning football games, don't you?
Yes, sir.
All right, another question I enjoy asking young athletes, you're superstitious. Athletes are superstitious, whether rightly or wrongly. With that thought in mind, Garrett, do you have any superstitions or things you have to do in a certain way time after time, or anything that stands out in that line for you?
Yes, sir. Every game before the game, me and my teammates go into the locker room and put face paint on. Eye black under the eyes and down the face.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Y'all want to look like little Indians out there or something, do you?
Just got to look intimidating.
Got to look fierce. Yes, sir.
I was going to say, it doesn't matter what you want to look like, it's working, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Joseph, how about you?
For me, man, this is my first year starting, but I try to do everything the same since the Chelsea game, because we went out and had a great game against Chelsea. So, like Garrett said, try to put on eye black with everybody before, and then just listen to music in my mind right before kickoff.
Okay. Well, this is one thing that I'm usually asking, like I said, these quarterbacks, running backs, and things like that. And you'll understand when I ask this question. But Garrett, is there a collegiate lineman or professional lineman that you'd like to pattern your game after? Say, gosh, if I could play in the pros, this is who I'd want to play like.
Yes, sir. Alejandro Villanueva for the Steelers.
Oh, okay.
Definitely. Yes, sir.
Well, he seems to be an all-around football player.
Yes, sir.
And I guarantee you guys are slowly but surely becoming an all-around football players and football team. And the more you win, the better team you are. And that's why I talk to coaches about that. There's a reason that we keep score. It makes winning and losing important. If it didn't, it wouldn't matter how we did. Now, Joseph, there's got to be somebody defensive end.
Yes, sir. In terms of college, I really like Jeff Holland out of Auburn. He's a guy that really flies to the football a lot, makes a lot of sacks. And then the NFL, I love what J.J. Watt does for the Texans. Yeah. He's a hard worker, and that's what I had to do to get to where I am.
Well, now, being a defensive end, do you get a chance to make those sacks a lot?
Yes, sir. We got a great guys up the middle that they'll force it out to me and Carson Kolb on the edge coming off.
And then y'all just licking your chops that somebody's going to come your way.
Yes, sir.
Confident bunch, right?
Yes, sir.
You got to be. Now, see, there's nothing wrong with being cocky as long as you can back it up. Now, if you get cocky and people run all over you, it don't look too good, does it?
Yes, sir.
Well, so far, I think y'all have a perfect right to be good and cocky. Let me ask you this too, Garrett. Going into this season, did you visualize your team being as successful as it's been thus far?
Yes, sir, I did, just mainly because our coaching staff has really pushed us, and they're excellent at what they do, offensively and defensively. they educate us so that we're prepared when we go out on the field.
Okay, Joseph, when you looked at y'all's schedule, is there any team that stands out to you that you get to thinking, this is the team that I'm really looking forward to playing?
Well, right now I'm really looking forward to playing Mortimer Jordan this week. That's what we're locked in on. We had a great practice today, but Mortimer Jordan's the one we're looking forward to right now.
So, in other words, next team up.
Yes, sir.
You could be a little politician yourself, you know, but that's okay. Both of you being seniors, did either one of you have any scholarship offers, or do you know where you're going to go to school maybe?
Yes, sir. I have a scholarship offer right now to the university, or Austin Peay State University.
Really?
Yes,
okay.
sir, up in Tennessee.
And so is that where you're hoping to go?
Yes, sir, right now.
Unless something else comes up, maybe you make some choice between a couple of schools.
Yes, sir. We'll see how it plays out, but I really like it up there right now.
Well, what if once your playing days are over, do you have any kind of idea what you'd like to do one day?
Well, both my parents are on television, so I think I'll follow suit more than likely. Yes,
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And how about you, Joseph? Where do you hope to go?
Well, I don't have any offers on the table at the moment. If Auburn comes calling, you know, I'll pick up the phone. But really, just going to be a student, I'll probably go to Auburn is where I want to go.
That's a good place to go. I'll pray for you. But that's a good place to go. Great education would wait on you there. Guys, very last question, very quickly, to this point in young lives, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
Probably my father. Okay. Definitely Doug Bell, yes, sir.
Good for you. How about you, Joseph?
I'd go with my father as well.
Well, guys, I tell you what, you don't get much better than you've gotten thus far this year. Keep enjoying it. Keep playing the best of your ability. Come playoff time, something special might happen, okay?
Yes, sir.
Good to see you.
Thank
Folks,
you.
once again, we've had a great evening. 2 outstanding coaches, outstanding athletes. We'll do it again next week. So then, you know what the snapper always said, bye.